Hello, everyone, and welcome to the season finale of Enhancing the Human podcast. I'm Dr. Jenna Gatsis, and today we'll be recapping on some of the highlights from our first season. It's been such an incredible journey exploring various facets of health and human performance with some of the brightest minds in the field. We're excited to announce that we will be back for season 2 in August, bringing you even more valuable insights, discussions, and powerful minds. Season 1 had so much valuable information. Let's talk about some of the highlights. On the episode with Dr. Zulia Frost, we explored the critical role of energy in our health. We discussed how stress, dehydration, and electromagnetic frequencies can negatively impact our bodies and our environment. Dr. Frost introduced us to the benefits of red light therapy, also known as photobiomodulation, for enhancing recovery and overall health, emphasizing the importance of mindset and lifestyle in fostering a healing environment. In this episode, we realized the impact our environment has on our health and well-being.
Hydration is not just water.
Right.
Hydration is the water with charge. You need, because everything inside the body electrically charged, positive, negative. There is a law of attraction going on. There is a interplay with charges going on, and you cannot just drink water. And if you don't have energy, it will be just not functioning water. But inside the body, it becomes organized. It's Dr. Pollack wrote a beautiful book on this, and he did lots of research. He called it your body is a battery, because that water hold the charge. It's almost like expand the charge in the body. For many people, this is an alien concept, but it doesn't matter. As long as you trust us, the experts, you're going to be helped with this.
I always say that. It's funny that you say that, because I always preach about the hydration not being just about water, because after 90 minutes or more of sweating, you will dilute more of the electrolytes that you have within your system. So water becomes something that's a negative to your system after 90 minutes or more of sweating. It's better to drink, a sugary drink even. So it's important to realize you have to have those charged particles. Everything is chemistry. And everything, that things can transform into something else with heat, with different molecules, with different environments. So, and you have the control over those environments. Next, we talk about the impact of toxins with Chris Talley. Chris Talley, a body scientist, shared invaluable insights on the widespread presence of heavy metals in our environment and their impact on health and fertility. His expertise on stress management for athletes and Navy SEALs was particularly eye-opening. Chris also provided practical detoxification strategies using foods and supplements like cilantro, garlic, and collagen.
I would say Red Bull has been kind of instrumental in I'll say the high stress research area. We had Felix Baumgartner that jumped out of a space capsule in outer space and skydived back to Earth. That was interesting. And then Project Acheron they did, which they had 4 extreme sports athletes, and they paired them with 2 elite Navy SEALs, and they had to cover, I think it was 120 miles in 8 days in Patagonia. And so part of it was by kayak, part of it was they were at one point climbing over a glacier, and it was
So cool.
But for what was fascinating was that when we got the blood test before and after, the Navy SEALs were actually better nourished at the end of it than they were before. And I went, how did everyone do the same thing? And you guys came back better off than before. And they said, for us, it was a camping trip. It was a hike. They weren't stressed at all, because they knew there's no one that's got to shoot at them. There's no,
Right.
a terrorist that you're trying to go into a stronghold to rescue a hostage. Or,
Like a vacation for their body
it was
internally.
literally a vacation.
Yeah.
Where, what the guy that was kind of running the thing, just the SEAL that was in charge said, you don't know where we were before this.
Right.
And so
Literally.
for the extreme sports athletes, they had never hiked a glacier. They had never had to kill an animal and cook it or skin it, or knowing what berries to eat, all the things that are, survival related stuff they had zero experience with. And so they were a disaster. They literally came back just wiped out of everything. And it was kind of a interesting experience for me to see what changes for someone who has expertise in an area. And when you first introduce someone into that arena, what happens to them.
On the episode Natural Healing in a High-Tech World with Matt Roski, He challenged us to rethink conventional health paradigms by advocating for a more organic lifestyle. We discussed the manipulation of technology, corporate influence on health information, and the benefits of aligning with nature's rhythms. His insights into the healing properties of natural materials like copper and the impact of electromagnetic frequencies were truly enlightening. I saw one time at a store, they had rubber duckies on the bottle of water, and it was fluoridated water for kids. What are we doing? Again, with the 3-letter organization, go on their site, look at what it does. It's unbelievable to me that we're saying these things and doing these things because it's blatantly right in front of us. And then you start to notice and learn about the eyes, our eye health. How is my eyesight getting worse and worse? We never used to live like this. Everyone's got glasses, everyone's got braces. I look around and I have very good intuition. I'm like, go look into this. And I start looking into it, because I pay for the database of research. I want to know what we know as humans and what the science says, but also take into consideration that it's funded. But you see what the results show, and it really correlates a lot. But if you look at eye health and with the sunglasses, and then they're trying to sell me contacts with UV protection, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just bought 1,000 contacts with UV shit. I'm like, my eyes are never getting sun. And I'm like throwing them out. And I'm like, this is so ridiculous. And it's, I try to look at it like people mean well, and not everyone's malicious, but when the system is just doing it, people kind of fall in line and they become conditioned to do it. I'm one of the ones that always says, I took an oath. I care about my people. Money is paper, and it's just paper. So if in the healthcare profession, if you don't care about people as your number one, you'll make money. You're good at what you do. You'll make money. You don't have to scam people. But I just seeing people just fall to the system where they just fall in line, even with what they're doing now. There's research out now from those 3-letter organizations that shows what's happening. 1 million people, their periods were impacted by certain things. 1 million. This isn't a conspiracy. This is a million people. So it's we need to wake up and realize, even altogether, people are important and human beings should be at the center of everything. Just any kind of living being should care. Sue Falsone's episode on holistic therapy, rewiring the brain for optimal health, was another highlight of the season. We explored the power of touch, breath, and lifestyle adjustments in promoting healing. We discussed techniques such as dry needling and balancing the nervous system, providing a deeper understanding of our body's healing potential.
And I think as healthcare practitioners, we are afraid to load people. And it's partially not our fault, because if you think about all the physical therapy clinics that you have seen throughout the country, there's just not enough load, right? There's times where I'm working with a football player who's coming off of a meniscectomy, let's say, and he's squatting 300 pounds. For him, that's, 65%, 70% of his 1RM. But for me, there's, that's a massive amount of weight. But for him, it's really not. And so as a clinician, it's uncomfortable to prescribe that amount of load, right? So we notoriously in rehab underload our patient, which is a problem, which means then they're not strong enough, which means they can't be powerful enough to do their job, which sets them up for re-injury. So, again, as a healthcare practitioner, I don't have to be the best strength coach in the world, but I have to be able to speak the strength coach's language. I have to be able to regress those things and talk about a smart progression of load and speed and tempo and all of those things, and be able to create a program with them to address their physiological limitation, whether it be hypertrophy or whether it be true, absolute strength or relative strength or elastic strength or speed strength. There's some physical quality that they're lacking. We've got to be able to program that safely together, because those are different set rep schemes, those are different tempos, those are different loads, those are different, whatever. So, as clinicians, we don't have to do it all, but we have to be able to, have somebody in our corner that we can have those conversations with.
And at least have an understanding of it. I know it's the human body, the brain always wants to stay comfortable. So it's easy to just stay in your lane. As we wrap up season 1, I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to our listeners for all of the support and engagement. We'll be taking a short break, but we'll be back in August with season 2 of Enhancing the Human. This season has been packed with so much practical information, advice, and cutting-edge insights into optimizing human health and performance. We hope you found the discussions as enlightening and inspiring as we have. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes as we continue to explore the intricacies of the human body and unlock the secrets of optimal health and longevity. For more detailed insights and to listen to the full episodes, visit Enhancing the Human on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on season 2 of Enhancing the Human podcast.